Good morning, crafty friends. Happy Wednesday.
Woohoo!
Hi,
Wednesday.
Yes, I have my friends here with me today because we are going to talk about some super fun stuff upcoming here at Tailored Expressions. But before I get started into why we are here today, why don't you say hello? Maybe you're just happening upon this live and you really have no idea why we're here, and that's okay. Or maybe you know exactly why we're here and you're ready to get started. So tell me which camp you fall into, and I will tell you here in just a second who this live is for. Why are we doing it? What are you going to learn? Why should you be here? All of those good things. So
Lots of hello.
I see hello from Susan and Whitney. Hi,
Yeah,
Carrie.
it's us.
Oh, hi, Tammy, and Mary's here. Terry and Melissa. Awesome. Well, here is the real reason we are here today. I did announce this yesterday when I was live that we are live today to talk about virtual stamp joy. And this is a little bit different than our virtual stamp joy that happens in the spring. So our fall stamp joy is traditionally in person, and it is being held this year, this fall, coming up October 13 and 14, I want to say. Those dates should probably be burned into my head by now, but I believe the 13th and 14th of October is our in-person event that happens in Des Moines, Iowa at the Iowa Event Center.
Yes.
Woo! We are getting so excited to welcome all of our in-person attendees, but today's video is not, or today's live is not for you. So we're not going to talk about in-person Stamp Joy. You guys have been updated through emails about supplies to bring for our in-person Stamp Joy, and we'll have many more emails coming your way as we lead up to that in-person event. For our fall virtual event, so instead of doing like we do in the spring where our entire event is virtual, because our team is spending so much time preparing for this in-person event, we do our virtual event in the fall a little bit differently. And we take the class that we teach at our in-person event and we teach it virtually. So it's kind of a smaller opportunity to still get some of the fun of Stamp Joy with being able to take the class virtually, but keeping most of that experience on the in-person level. So if you signed up for Virtual Stamp Joy Class Pass, then this live today is for you. Yay! We are going to talk through the supply list. You should have received an email with the supply list on Monday, and starting tomorrow at 9 a.m., you will receive a discount code in your email that will get you a discount on the entire Tailored Expressions website, but really the purpose is to get you a discount on any of the products that you want to add before we go ahead and teach the class. The date for the class is November 11th, so we still have plenty of time, but we like to get these things out as early as we can so you can plan ahead. So tomorrow, actually today, if you want to take a look and start adding products to your cart, we did create a special category for you. You must be logged into your Tailored Expressions account in order to see it, and it is under the What's New tab at the top of the navigation bar. So under What's New, you'll find Stamp Joy, Virtual Stamp Joy 2023. There's a category of all of the supplies there. You can begin adding them to your cart, but again, that coupon code does not start until tomorrow, and you'll receive that in your email. So if you're placing orders today, unfortunately, we're not able to go back and apply the coupon code for you. So hear this now. Please wait and wait for the coupon code to be delivered tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time, and then you can start placing your orders with that discount code.
We love a discount.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's such a pro tip. Like, get it all in your cart so you're just ready to go.
Yes, so you're ready to go. You know what you need. Yes. So one of the other things I wanted to mention before we get started with the supplies, we do have a special group set up for our virtual class attendees. And we have sent out emails with the link to that group. However, I know not everybody always gets the emails, so you'll want to join that group if you are signed up for Virtual Stamp Joy. If you are not signed up for Virtual Stamp Joy, then we won't approve you to join the group. So please don't join. Only join if you are signed up for Virtual Stamp Joy, and then we can go through and make those approvals. Charlie, our wonderful Charlie behind the scenes of social media here, has been on a well-deserved vacation for the last week. So if you are waiting on your virtual Stamp Joy membership to the group to be approved, then just know that she is back in the office, and I know it takes a while to get through those, so just please be patient with us, but go ahead and get into that group as soon as you can. Alrighty, so what else do we need? Any questions?
Yes, somebody said, is the coupon code one-time use only?
Oh, that is a good question. We're going to have to ask that question of John and
Marketing.
Kelly and the marketing team. If you want to maybe see if you can find
I'll
someone
check.
before the end of the live. I can't recall on that. So I will get started on the supplies. So the purpose of the supply list that we put out is so that you guys can be prepared to the degree that you want to be prepared. So it is okay. It is okay if you choose not to buy every single supply on this list. We are simply giving you what we will be using, and if you want to make substitutions, we're going to give you some thoughts on how and where would be best to do that, and maybe some areas where you don't really want to substitute because we're doing such a specific technique that you need to have what we have put on the supply list. So hopefully this is helpful to see it and talk about it together, and I think we can get started. Oh, that's a good question, Penny. Can we still sign up for it? Unfortunately not. Our sign-ups ended, oh gosh, a couple months ago, I believe, and we are busy getting packages ready to send out. Those are going to start shipping the first part of October. So no further sign-ups are being offered for the virtual event. So if you didn't sign up, you'll have to wait until our next virtual event, which will be in the spring. So, all right, what did you find out?
One use only.
Okay.
Make it a good one.
Okay, so it is a one-time use only coupon code. So fill up that cart and make sure you have everything you need before you check out. So, okay, let's get to looking at the supply list. Mary says, amazingly, I already have everything on the list.
Wow. Girl,
Wow,
get it.
that is impressive. Good job. And Rita says, me too, yikes. Well, that's a good thing, right? That means you get to use the supplies that you have and maybe even learn a new use or technique that uses things that you already have in your collection. So we are going to start up at the top left of the shopping list here with the suggested ink color combination that we'll be using. So as far as inks go, you can use either full size or mini. It's going to be more of a personal preference. We will be doing lots of blending, so if you don't like to blend with mini ink cubes, then you'll want to have the full size ink pads. But I think you should be able to get away with minis for all of the techniques that we will be doing in this class. We have mango, we have passion fruit, tropical punch, and cookie monster. These are the 4 colors we'll be using in our cards. I'm not going to show you the cards today because that's kind of the fun of the surprise of coming to the Stamp Joy class and seeing what we're going to be making. You will be getting pictures and printed instructions in your package when that goes out, so that will probably be your first look at the cards that we'll be creating. We also have the white pigment ink, which is Sugar Cube, and then our Oreo hybrid ink on the supply list as well. So those are our 6 ink colors.
I can't wait to see that mango and passion fruit together. Woo, woo.
I know, it's so pretty. It's kind of a little bit of a tropical color combination, but some of our cards really lean more elegantly, so we're gonna get a little bit of everything out of those 4 colors. Okay, so next on the list we have stamps. We have down boho hellos or a sentiment set of your choice. So here's a look at the boho hellos stamp set. What we are doing, we are using this, I believe, on 2 of the projects, I want to say. Is that right, Susan?
Yeah.
I think that's correct, yes. Yeah. We're going to use 2 of the sentiments from this set on the projects. We have given you a die cut piece that you can, if you have the stamp set, you'll be able to set up the negative into your MISTI and stamp it onto the die cut piece and then use that. Now, if you don't care to use this sentiment set, you can choose a sentiment set that you already have in your collection. I would suggest that you choose something that has coordinating dies, or plan to use something that has coordinating dies, so we can cut those sentiments out and place them within the card design. Now the approximate size of these sentiments is about 1.5 inches, I want to say. I think we're using high there for one of the cards, which is about 1 1/4. So 1 1/4 by 1.5, somewhere in there is the size of the sentiment. So if you want to check your collection, you can do that, or if you want to grab the stamp set, we will be providing the die cuts for you in the class. Of course, if you want to grab the die set too, it does have a set of coordinating dies. You don't have to use it for the class, but then you will have those to use in the future if you wanted to create more cards with this sentiment set. So hopefully that makes sense. EC's asked if you can do the foilet sentiments instead of the stamp. If you have the foil sentiments and you want to foil these ahead of time or do it during the class, you are welcome to make that change as well. Let's see.
Someone said, will you be giving other ink color inspiration when you do the class?
We sure could. Yeah, we can always give additional color inspiration. We don't have any more samples made with these same, I guess, designs in different color combos. But yeah, color inspiration is always a good thing.
We do use it on 2 of them.
Okay.
It's such a good staple set.
It is a good staple. The Oh Happy Day and Happy Birthday. There's a Miss You. The 2 we'll be using in class is You Are Amazing and Hi There. So, all right, that is Boho Hellos. Now we're going to talk about one of the die sets. There will be some little stars that we're going to use on one of the projects. Of course, if you don't have this die set, an option would be to find some small stars from something else that you have, or you can also just skip the stars. So there will be, it won't ruin the card if you decide not to put the extra stars on there, but if you want to use what we'll be using, then grab yourself this little die. It is one that I would say we use a lot here.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Little bit stars, they get incorporated everywhere. So
And inexpensive.
yeah, just a good little add-on. I think it's just like a $7 die, so nothing too crazy. Okay, we're down into the pastes and mediums here at the bottom, and we've got a couple things in this category. We have first something that I've been using a lot lately, which is Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. Comes in this little container, and we're going to use this to splatter. You guessed it. So if you have another white medium that you prefer to splatter with, you could use that. This has been a favorite of mine, and I think this little jar is going to last me the rest of my crafting life.
I know. I love just the top, how open it is.
It's
been
easy
my
to get it
favorite.
out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So if you don't have a medium for white splatters, then grab yourself a jar of the Bleed Proof White. Then another supply we'll be using this time. We have not used this in a class before, but we're going to do it this time. I'm really excited about this. This is Glitter Grab. So our Glitter Grab has a couple different purposes. One purpose is in the name, Glitter Grab. So if you apply this through a stencil and then pour glitter over the top, it will adhere to the paste. The glitter will adhere to the paste and give you a really fun effect on your background. Albeit a little messy because, you know, everyone and their loose glitter.
That's a call out to me, I know. I like contained glitter.
Yes, Susan prefers her glitter in the paste. So the Glitter Grab is one of those supplies that there aren't a lot of workarounds for, because you can do a couple different techniques with this. So you're either going to use it with glitter, or you're going to use it for its other intended purpose, which is for foiling. So this also, if you apply it through a stencil and let it dry, then you can place a piece of foil over the top, send it through your Mink machine, and then you will have a beautiful foiled background. So this supply, I would say if you do not have something like this or this exact thing in your collection, then you will want to grab that at the TE store for this class.
Especially if they're going to do the foil.
Yes, especially if you're going to do the foil part. I know there are some other products out there that are toner gels, but I love ours. I just think it just performs at a superior quality to the others that I've tried. So if you've been frustrated in the past by this technique, then maybe give this a try if you haven't yet.
I completely not what do I want to say, like not fibbing, this is my
Yes.
favorite. And I've used all the ones that have been offered over the years. Like, this one's amazing.
All right, so with that, I'm gonna skip over here to the right where we have this note for you. So as I just talked about, there are two different ways you can use this glitter grab. And I know not everyone has a mink machine or cares to get into the foiling, which is sad to me because foiling is so fun and easy and beautiful.
Yes.
But if you do not have a mink or a laminator and you do not care to buy one for this class, we will be showing an alternate way to make the same project. So if you want to grab a mink machine, or make sure you have yours out during the class, we do sell the mini mink at the Tailored Expressions web store. If you won't be foiling along with us, then you need to add either lollipop or jelly donut glitter to your supply list. So that's what's down here in the bottom corner. And we will, instead of foiling, we will be using that glitter color, which matches our project. One of those two will match beautifully, and you can use that instead of doing the foiling. Of course, if you want to go your own way, there are other options too, but that's the alternative way that we will be teaching this project for those that don't want to use the mink. Let's see, I'm going to stop here and see. Have you tried mixing loose glitter into the glitter grab? Yes, we have. It's not a great option because the glitter grab dries clear. So if you want glitter in a clear paste, then it would be okay. If you want glitter in a white paste, then I would use our fresh snow.
Yep.
Is that what you were going to say about that?
It works. I've done it before. It works. So it's definitely, because I'm always trying to skirt around loose glitter, it does work. So
yes. Let's see if I missed any other questions. What would be similar to glitter grabs? So originally, let's see, ThermoWeb put out a product called toner gel.
yeah,
That was the original, maybe like 2+ years ago. 3 years ago?
it's been a while. So if you have one, make sure it's not dry.
Yes.
Before class.
The other thing that's out there is the,
Duo.
okay, but there was one before that that wasn't the Duo.
Oh, you're right.
And that one is the one that I thought was good and kind of comparable to the glitter grab.
Mm-hmm.
The Transfer Gel Duo, because it works with both a heat foil and a non-heat, when you put it through your heat source, it kind of tends to mush your pattern down and make it kind of bleed outside the lines. It doesn't give you a really crisp result when you're using it to heat foil, to put it through your mink machine. However, if you don't have a mink machine and you have Duo Gel and you want to try doing a no heat method, you could do that as well. Hopefully that makes the most sense that I could make right now.
Now there was one before it was called, Transfer Gel. Is that what you
Okay,
said?
yes,
Yeah,
it was
that
just
one-
called Transfer Gel, not the Duo.
Not the
So
Duo.
that would be the other comparable option for the glitter grab. Okay, so coming back to here in the middle section, we've got adhesives. These are your run-of-the-mill usual suspects for adhesives. Your favorite foam tape, tape runner, and liquid adhesive. I'll be using our foam tape squares in 1/16 inch. Tape runner, my favorite is the Scotch brand. And then liquid adhesive, I'll be using my precision glue press with the Nuvo glue. But of course, you guys all have your favorites too, but those will be in the category of the Stamp Joy shopping category on the website if you want to check out any of the adhesives that we have at Tailored Expressions. A couple of adhesives here that are TE specific. The TE foam sticky strips. I would highly recommend having these or something like this where you have pre-cut strips of foam adhesive. It's going to save you a lot of time on one of the projects that we're creating, so that might be one that you want to add to your list if you don't have anything like this with pre-cut strips of foam. The other one down here is TE teal tape, and we use that often to hold down our stencils to keep things from sliding and shifting around on our workspace. So if you have something similar to that, would be maybe your pixie tapes or mint tape, I know is one that scrapbook.com has, but something like that to hold your stencils in place while we're blending. Then we're getting down into the tools section. So we tried to think of everything here. Blender brushes. Obviously you would want those in the colors of the ink that I already shared. And you can do full-size blender brushes. That's probably what I would suggest because the bitty ones are more for, in my mind, dimensional work, and we're not doing a lot of dimensional blending in this particular class. So I would recommend the full-size blender brushes. We have the Misty alignment tool. We will not be doing anything too large on the stamping scale. I'm pretty sure you could get away with a mini Misty. That large stamp we'll be using, I think, fits in the mini Misty.
Yeah, background fit.
Yes. I know it's a little tough to get a background stamp in a mini Misty, but we are not using any background stamps. So
Well, they should be fine.
if you want to do mini or regular size, both of those would work. Then we have down the powder tool, some kind of anti-static. Of course, we love the Tailored Expressions powder tool with our unique delivery system for that powder. Good time to grab that if you don't have it. A die cutting machine of your choice that you know how to use. Make sure you know how to use the embossing folder setting on your die cutting machine too, because we will be using that as well. And we will be teaching using the Big Shot. So we don't always know all the machines that are out there and the appropriate sandwiches for all of them. So just make sure you know your machine for both die cutting and embossing. Then for splattering, we have a paintbrush. I would suggest a number 4 round brush. This is from the Ranger set of paintbrushes, but a number 6 and a number 2 also work well. Just make sure it's a round brush and not a flat head brush. So then we also have our eyedropper bottle. You'll fill this with water. And, whoops, don't knock it over here. Then we have the next thing on the list says a spray bottle with alcohol or something to clean stencils quickly. So there is one card where we need to move through the same stencil multiple times and we need to wash it in between uses. And so we won't have time for everybody to get up and head to their bathroom or kitchen and, you know, spray and wash and dry the stencil. So we wanted to give you a heads up to have something to clean quickly. Do we have a stencil over there that I can just show them about how quickly we want to?
Use this one because it's giving it away.
Oh, I don't know.
Is that giving it away?
Yeah, kind of, but I think it'll be okay.
It's fine.
Okay, so this is actually not part of the TE collection currently, but you might recognize it. I don't know, it's just some dots. We'll just say that. But I wanted to give you guys a heads up on how quickly you want to be able to clean this. So I've got my spray bottle, my glass mat. I'm just going to spritz across the surface here. I'm going to have my cleaning cloth off to the side and wipe the back. And then we're ready to go again. The great thing about an alcohol is that it evaporates to the air very quickly, so you don't have to wait for it to dry and you don't have to use a paper towel to dry it. So those would be my recommendations for getting your stencils cleaned quickly.
And alcohol is like a couple of dollars at Walmart.
Yes, yes, and do get the 90% isopropyl alcohol. I know they make different percentages, and I've determined, especially in other countries, the 90% might be harder to find. I think it was some of our Canadian friends had trouble finding the 90 and had the 70. So do your best to find the 90% if you have that option. Okay, next up we have an acrylic block. Nothing too big is needed. And especially if you have your MISTI, you might choose to use that instead of the acrylic block, but we always put it on there just in case you want to have one available. A lot of times we'll use that acrylic block to do our splattering. So we'll put our splatter, our bleed proof white onto the acrylic block and use that to splatter over the project. Coming over here on the right, we have Nuvo Media spatulas. That would be something like this. These are my personal favorite. I tend to use this triangular one more because it gets into the jar a little bit better usually. But they come in a set of 2, and we do have these available on the Tailored Expressions store. The thing I love about these is they are flexible heads, and so it makes it easy to apply and kind of pull that material down. Then the other thing I love is they are silicone. So if you leave them to dry with product or paste on it, you can easily chip it off or wash it off later. It doesn't get stuck on there and you have to use a toothbrush or anything.
Is that an ask me how I know?
Yes, that is a tailor trick. I appreciate tools that don't get ruined when I forget to do the things that I should do with them. So, always like to point out why it's my favorite. The other thing for kind of pasting and stenciling is a stencil pal. So we're going to be using this, you probably guessed it, to apply our glitter grab that we talked about earlier. And one of the things when you're using this glitter grab with foil, you want to have a really nice, neat application of the foil. If you have a lot of kind of, what do you call those, streak marks, I guess, where you can see where you've pulled your paste down, you'll end up seeing those in the foil. And so I would highly recommend getting a tool like this. I prefer to apply it. I prefer to apply the paste with my smaller spatula, but then at the end, I like to take this and make sure I get a really smooth application. So if you're thinking it's kind of an either or choice, I would probably choose, gosh, I don't know. It just might not be an either or choice. At least for me, if you're okay with the streak marks in your foil, then I would choose to go only with this. But this one will not fit in the jar to get the goop out, and it's harder to, then you have to kind of paste it all the way across here and pull it down. So it's a little harder to work with applying it, but it's great for smoothing it out after you've applied it.
If there's someone that likes using pastes and stuff, they'll love having it in their stash.
Yes, you'll love having both of them, and I think we use them both very often.
Yeah.
You do get 2 of the stencil pals in here, so if you have a crafty friend that you're doing this together with, you can just buy one package and split it apart. You really only need 1, as long as you can keep track of it.
That's it. Ask me how I know.
Okay, next up we have some other just generic supplies, tools. You'll need a scissors, you'll need a paper trimmer. We have down a pick and place tool or a tweezers for some of the smaller embellishments that we'll be using, whatever your favorite is there. Then I have down a sponge dauber. There are lots of options for this. I know Picket Fence has their paper pouncers, so that could be an option for this, but it would just be like a foam sponge dauber. And we can explain during the class why we prefer to use a dauber over a brush for the certain technique that we're going to be sharing, but you could also grab these little finger daubers. I know we have the finger daubers at the TE Web store, but the this guy here that I'm holding is another option, but it is not available currently. So I just wanted to show you that as a second option, but here's another good option for doing some daubing of ink. All right, last one. We have our embossing pad kit. So that's what this looks like here. It's actually a set of 2 embossing pads, and we are going to be using this on one of the projects. It's a pretty specific supply, so if you don't have these 2 little squishy mats, then you will probably want to grab this or you won't be able to do the technique that we're sharing. So the embossing pad kit, 2 little rubber mats, and depending, of course, we'll give all this instruction in the class, but depending on the tension of your machine, you may need to use one or both. And this is where it will be important that you understand the embossing folder sandwich for whatever machine you'll be using during the class. All right, how many daubers are needed? We'll only be using it with one color of ink, so good question there. The blending foams that go on the Ranger tool would work for a dauber as well. Deborah asked the name of the Facebook group. I believe it was linked at the top, and Whitney can probably reply again with...
I'm putting it in the YouTube right now.
Okay, perfect. Let's see.
Someone asked if you're going to get your nails done.
Oh no! Have we noticed?
No, for Stamp Joy.
Oh, okay.
You're going to have Stamp Joy nails?
I know.
Days?
I've had naked nails for a while now. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the summer that I've been letting them heal. I think for those of you that do dip nails, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but my nails had just gotten to, it kind of just made them very brittle, and they were cracking and breaking, and that's no good. So I gave them the summer off, and I can actually feel on my nail tip where, you know, how far they've grown out and where the bad nail is still there a little bit at the tip. So I'm trying to give them as long as I can, and then we'll see what my decision is. But I've tried some of the new brands out there, the Dazzle Dry, Olive and June. So if I can just find time, it sounds funny, like I can find time to go to the salon and have someone else do my nails, but I can't find time at home to do my own nails. So maybe I need to schedule a time at the salon where I can bring my own polish and sit and do my own nails.
Did you want me to schedule that?
Yeah, see if that's a service that they offer, because I could use that. Getting anything done in my home with my children around is just not an option.
Yes. All right,
Okay.
Mary said if she's going to foil, does she need certain colors of foil?
Okay, good question. Thank you. No, the foil will be provided in your class kit. So if you're not going to foil, you'll end up with this extra piece of foil that you can find another use for. But the foil that we'll be using in the class will be provided for you. So good question. Oh, good. I'm getting lots of suggestions for my nails. I tried stickers for a while, Candy. I just couldn't do them. The dip stuff is not good, Melissa says. I've found that, so I need to find something else. And hilariously, Rita said Jell-O helps your nails. And then I'm glad you posted again and said eat Jell-O, because I was gonna like soak my nails in Jell-O. Is that not what you meant? I see now that you meant I should eat the Jell-O, not soak my nails in it. Or am I supposed to soak my nails in it? Someone else said solar oil, so I'll have to try that.
Okay.
I've tried like 3 different cuticle kind of nail strengthener type things, but all right. Enough about my nails. They just needed some time to breathe, right?
Yeah. Andy says you just need mini mitts on all of them.
I wonder, you know what, that could be funny. I know nobody else would want to do this because it involves cutting apart your mini mitt, but wouldn't it be funny to like cut them in half so you can put them on all? Yeah, because right now they kind of fold in between and you can only put them on your pinchers. But yes. Okay. Rita says Jell-O is the key. So really, just eating Jell-O? I mean, I like Jell-O. What does it have in it?
Gelatin.
Gelatin? Does that help?
Gelatin is what? Collagen, probably. It probably has collagen in it, too.
Beatrice says she'd rather have natural nails and save the money to spend at TV.
Yes, girl.
That's awesome. Oh, okay, y'all. Well, thank you for the good time today. I hope that we have answered all of your questions. Again, we will be looking at questions here, so if you're watching the replay, feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. And in case you popped in late, this live was for our virtual Stamp Joy Class Pass attendees. The class is closed for registration, so there's no further registration being taken if you haven't signed up, and the class will be live here on Facebook in a private group on November 11th. So if you are signed up, you should be getting emails from us, and that discount period starts tomorrow. So you can grab any of the supplies that you need, get them all ready to go. We are so excited to join you a couple months from now.
We're gonna get our party pants on here.
Oh, hopefully there's no snow.
No!
I know.
Why would you say that?
Because I think there was last year. And
that was
yeah.
virtual in the spring.
Oh, virtual in the spring had snow. Yes. All right, y'all. Good to see you today. And Susan will be here tomorrow with you for the live. Same
Susan!
time, same place. Yeah. And if you are potentially attending the Crop and Create event, I will see you later. I am up for the meet and greet. I'm the first meet and greet, so I'm a little bit, talk about biting my nails. A little bit nervous for that. So if some of you would like to join, if you're in the Crop and Create group and participating in that event, I would love to have some familiar names popping up on my screen as I meet and greet everyone later today. 3:30, I think. 3:30 Central Time.
Woohoo!
Right? Okay.
I'll be there.